How's it going, ladies and bruises? I'm Bobby6Killer and welcome back to Tyranny. Now this is the big one.
On it.
We have nothing left to do except go and see Tunon, and I don't think she's going to be very pleased with us. But, you know, we'll live, maybe, hopefully. So we are heading to the Bastard City to see Tunon. I feel like this is the beginning of the end of this. It's, this is going to be a big deal. I'm nervous as fuck. I've been not looking forward to seeing Tunon, which is why we did Graven Ash and all that first anyway. This is... yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Bleeding Mark wants to kill us as well, though. Let's go. To Tunon. We're gonna be in trouble. Oh, we've done something wrong. Something tells me she's not gonna be thrilled about us running around, causing chaos and playing the Overlord. On the subject of spires. Okay, whatever. What else we got? Quest updated. Face Tunon's judgment. Alright, let's do this. No more proceedings will be held for nobles today. Missed the rest of that. This is an outrage. We demand to be heard. No, I can't even see that. And I've got no control over the camera. Hey look, Scarlet Chorus, I thought I wiped you fucks out.
Fatebinder, thank you for answering my summons. This could very well be the defining hour of the conquest.
Bow to Tunon?
I first want to make it clear why we've assembled today. After the collapse of Vendrian's Well and the start of the Civil War, it became clear to me that there must have been some great fault on the part of the Archons. We come together to root out the source of our troubles, and determine which of the Archons has sowed more chaos during the war.
I can point to the culprit and spare us the discussion. Blood Mulch aims the tip of a crude dagger at your heart. This is the scum who brought down the voices. I hope it isn't your intention to arm yourself before a court of peaceful, legal representatives, Commander, unless to offer amusement as Bleeding Mark flays you for our delight. Carleo offers an encouraging smile. He squints at Carleo and returns his weapon to his sheath. Tunon turns to aim what you can only assume is a stern look. He refocuses back on you with cool stoicism.
Much has happened since I dispatched you on that mission. You killed the voices of Nerat, taking the responsibility of an Archon's execution. Explain yourself.
I was told I had to. By Kairos, that was our mission. The court has no time for your lies. Ah, that is with your approval, mighty Tunon. Blood Mulch quiets back down.
Don't trouble these halls with a child's reasoning. A Fatebinder is expected to conduct themselves better than this. The court has a serious problem to address. Your conduct throughout this campaign has come into question, and you will answer for your actions.
Go on. It was Kairos's law edict thing that we had to go and deal with them. You made quite a name for yourself, Fatebinder. Stories of your deeds have spread throughout the tiers, and all of them have reached this court. Some actions have consequences. We will see what your actions have wrought.
The court has its own charges to present, and invites you to answer for yourself.
Am I on trial, Your Honor?
Yes, and I would ready yourself to form a defense, because your testimony could augur your doom. These proceedings are merely a formality. You have shown yourself to be a paragon of order. However, the law dictates a trial must be held. The trial begins now. I recommend that you treat these moments with deserving gravity, as they might be your last. Don't attempt to lie or evade answers. I will judge you in the objective eyes of our Overlord. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
At least your civility remains intact. You are on trial for transgressing on the Overlord's authority, breaking the laws of the Empire, bringing mayhem to an otherwise orderly conquest and meddling in concerns that fell beyond your station. Our directive to bring Kairos' peace to the Tiers has suffered, and you will answer for the part you played.
If you don't mind, Adjudicator. We're on familiar terms with the Fatebinder here. Should any inconsistencies require our input, we will add our voices as testimony. She nods to Rogalus, and then turns to you with an unreadable expression.
The court has inquiries into your conduct. I first call your travel companions to speak on your behalf as witnesses to your character or accomplices to your crimes. Who will speak on behalf of the Fatebinder?
Uh-oh.
The Ironclad Commander will step forward, if indeed he has the strength to walk.
You want me to speak, Adjudicator?
Barrack's armor makes a distinct rattling sound that echoes in the court as he steps forward.
I've been treated with fairness and respect. As fine as anything the Legion ever gave me. The Fatebinder trusts my counsel. I've never seen a finer, more upstanding member of the court.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Thanks, Barrack. You're my favorite.
Scarlet Fury, you who sacrificed your old life for this one, step forward.
Me? As if the likes of me has any business speaking in a grand hall before the Archon. Why, I've murdered enough folk to stack their bodies up to the podium 10 times over. Your Honor. The Fatebinder and I get along like a couple of cats. We scratch here and there, but there's respect to be had. Sometimes I think we agree on too much, but can't fight everyone. I suppose I've had worse bosses, and I suppose I've had better friends. But this one's something special. I've killed for him, and I'll do it again.
Aww, these guys are great.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf? Let the aged chronicler step forward.
If it may please the court, I will speak true.
I'm on Lantry. Do it for me.
I have had the honor and privilege of shadowing the Archon. A dream come true for someone so eager to witness history in the unfolding. I can say, with conviction, I am following greatness.
Oh, you're great too, Lantry. And if required, I could produce my travelogue to back my claims. I have noted the good and the bad, and I think you'll find the Archon has been a force of order and balance. Exactly what you should want from a Fatebinder.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Evidently not. The time has come for the Fatebinder to offer his testimony. You entered the Old Walls, a clear violation of Kairos' law. How do you answer for this perversion of justice? Do you think yourself above the law? Let's see. The transgression was necessary to complete my tasks. The law stood in the path of justice. The law stood in the path of... Fatebinder Kallio shakes her head in confusion. I hope you hear yourself, because that statement alone shows extraordinary contempt for our work. She looks at Tunon for approval. Tunon weighs the matter while studying you in silence.
I have one final question, Fatebinder. You were brought to this campaign to adjudicate the disagreements between the two armies. After your arrival, matters quickly escalated into a civil war. Did you knowingly join the conquest of the Tiers to sow discord in your wake? Or were you merely a victim of circumstance?
It wasn't my fault that the war started. But, I mean, I didn't help. Well, I mean, I wiped one out. Let's see. I joined this conquest for the glory of Kairos. I recognized the Archon's corruption from the start. It was only a matter of time before they turned on each other. Yeah, I kind of want that one. I recognized the Archon's corruption from the start. It was only a matter of time before they turned on each other, and I was prepared for that eventuality.
If you anticipated a failure on this scale, you should have informed me. Or else work to avoid it rather than pit combatants against each other.
I didn't pit them against each other. They did it themselves.
I am finished with my line of questioning. Have you any closing remarks for the court?
Do I have to fight Tunon now if I want to take over? Or should I just... I don't know, if I just like, let it go, and he lets me, she, whatever, lets me go, is that the end of the game, and I don't get my chance? I don't know. Though I have ever strived to bring peace and order to the shattered region, I recognize that our work is an uphill battle, and well worth the struggle. The years have shown me that war and conflict can change the face of the tears. I am the hammer that pounds ore into a workable shape. Second one.
I see the conquest has left its mark. Thank you for your testimony, Fatebinder. I believe I have enough to make a ruling. After weighing the charges, this court finds you innocent. Against all reason or expectation, I find you innocent. Your testimony was sufficient to justify your deeds, your self-appointed authority, and your undermining of Kairos' law. I can hardly believe it myself.
Tunon raises a trembling hand to his mask. In the picture, he looks like he's face palming. He's just like, God damn. I was ready to kill that motherfucker. Adjudicator, are you unwell? Rogalus takes a cautious step. Leave him. I want to see how this plays out. Kallio leans forward with interest.
As stated before, this was merely a formality. Your actions in the tears have shown you seek to bring order to the chaos left by Kairos' forces. Archon, your presentation in the court today has shaken many of my core beliefs. Things I held sacred under Kairos' law are now uncertain.
He looks at his gavel with a sense of bewilderment.
I once thought that Kairos was the sole overlord. The notion of rising to her echelon of power and influence wasn't a concept that existed for me, for anyone. You have proven her wrong. What's more, you understand justice and law better than she ever did. Better than even...
Holy crap, is he gonna bow to us? Upon his mask, the corner of his eyes crinkle as if in agony.
I am willing to accept you as my new sovereign, if you'll have me.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Man, Kairos is gonna be pissed! Holy fuck. I accept. Together we will rewrite law and lay the groundwork for a new empire.
My gavel and my justice are yours. I will execute your laws as you draft them, show mercy as you see fit, and bring to ruin all who would reject you.
Holy fuck. Silently, Bleeding Mark steps from the shadows. He glides forward, palming two black-bladed daggers as his eyes dart between you and Tunon.
Adjudicator, kid.
He greets both of you with a curt nod before starting his claim.
Allow this blade to cut to the point. I have an objection, or two.
He twirls both daggers, fingers moving deftly in and out of shadow, the movement nearly hypnotic and wholly blurred. And all the while, his brightly burning eyes bore into yours. Twitter nervously. Buddy, old pal of mine, what's the problem? I'm not some kid. I'm an Archon now. You do understand who you're messing with, right? He smiles wide and dangerously, teeth gleaming in the darkness.
Look, it's not like I have a grudge against you. I just can't let you live on Kairos' orders. I'm sure you understand.
Kairos' mandate doesn't require either of us to die. We need only bow to another. Tunon is willing to swear to me. Why won't you?
I would not so readily hand my leash to another. Really? Did you think I would allow myself to be used by someone like you? That you could send me to strike at the overlord? No. I would feel your blood pool beneath my feet first.
It would appear the court headsman is determined to make his stand. Under normal circumstances, I would curb this behavior with a swift execution. However, we have long since abandoned normalcy. There will be a trial by combat then. Bledenmark's claim against your own. Justice will win out, and the will of the true overlord will be evident for the living to witness. You may begin when ready, Archon.
Ready your weapon. I guess I've no choice then. Without further word or warning, the Archon of Shadow dissipates into darkness. The lights in the room flicker and dim as he surges forward in attack.
Your trial begins anew, Archon. Prepare to defend your title, your innocence, and your very life.
Let's do it. Here we go.
I'm not.
Alright, what do we got? Can I even see you yet? Not really. Yeah.
Here to make friends.
Will do.
You and you, move back. Disengage. Excellent. Doing good, guys. Hang on, Barrack. You can handle that.
Trick is to keep
You move.
twisting till you hear the snap.
Get out of the way of his attacks.
Nice
They're dangerous.
kid.
Barrack. Oh shit, I got no healing for Barrack. Fuck it, I should have equipped something. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew we were gonna end up fighting someone. Come on. Lantry, would you heal Barrack, please? Excellent work.
Sorry.
Lantry, move back. Oh, you doing heal on touch, are you? What the fuck? Come on, we got the... Holy shit, he just healed.
I'll omit that from the record.
Don't admit anything from the record, we're fine. Relax. We got this. You won't be able to handle this for too long. Barrack, what are you doing? Are you being slowed? Oh shit, there's more dudes!
I'll omit that from
Over here, kill this one. Okay, we can't disengage, it's not working. Knock his fucking head off. Come on! He's down.
Will do.
Alright, pick the rest off. Golden, glowering eyes, wide with surprise, the Archon tumbles to the ground, coughing blood as dark as the shadows that billow and ebb around him. He clutches at his shattered ribs and grins.
Look at you. The surprise of a lifetime.
He gasps, drowning as his lungs fill with blood. The light in his eyes dims as his pupils seep blackness, expanding to fill the whole of his eyes. A look of meaning passes between you, his fingers digging into the ground.
Don't die too easily. Won't look good for me.
Why'd I gain Wrath with Tune on?
This brightness is blinding.
Master, if you'll join me upstairs, I will pledge fealty to you in the lawful manner.
Got it. What about Kairos? That's what I want to know. What about Kairos? We got here. Binding of Shadows. Masterwork. I assume that's pretty good. It's heavy. What is this? Okay. What do we got? Armor. What is Shadeskin? Minus 10% to all damage taken. Wow.
This will be fun.
Man, we look badass. We look totally badassery. Alright, what else is happening? Binding of Shadows. Powerful artifact. Cool. Fiona has requested to speak with him by his throne and he'll offer his fealty to you. And that's all we got? Alright, let's roll. Where's his throne? Right there. Let's go. Dude, we're so close to being the Overlord now. So close. So close I can taste it. Come on, Verse.
Archon, Change has come to the Tiers, and in time it will reach the Empire itself. You are the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach. The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the Tiers. You will henceforth define justice for the rest of us. I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated.
As the ruling Archon of the Tiers, I submit to your authority and thank you for bringing order out of chaos. Go and represent the strength of law. Be the example the Tiers require, the force that keeps them together, and the hope for their future under one rule. Let your justice know no mercy but that which you impose. Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
This is not how I expected it to go. Not at all. Is that our throne now?
I am grateful to stand in your loyal service, Archon, but there is a shadow over these proceedings.
Tunon hesitates as he regards you, suddenly fearful.
Though you have proven yourself greater than the other Archons, Kairos is not satisfied. She sends a legion of expert soldiers marching on the Tiers as we speak, their war songs calling for your death.
What would you recommend?
Power begets power. A demonstration aimed at Kairos herself would give her a reason to regroup and consider her options. It would have to be a display of incredible proportions.
An edict proclaimed on the Northern Empire should do the trick.
Yes, destruction on that scale might serve your purpose. The North will tremble under your forceful hand. Return to the mountain spire and see your will given shape and consequence. Show Kairos the face of true power.
With pleasure. I'm looking forward to this. Man, we're at war with Kairos now, son. Tears are ours. Now all we have to do is fight off Kairos and kill her, I guess, and then we're the new overlord, yeah? That's what I'm going for. I'm gonna be the overlord. We need a rest. We're looking pretty hurt. To the mountain spire, away! Alright, we're here. Actually, we might have a rest. Just quickly. Get our injuries off. And also, Barrack, I kind of need health potions on you somewhere. In your quick slots, ideally. Big ones, too, because you're a big boy. You're a big boy. You've got none either. And you've got none either. Jesus, Christ. Can I separate this? What does that say? Right click? Can I break these into halves? Fuck knows. Alright, whatever. I'll give you these big ones. Lantry, you can have these little ones. You guys don't need to heal much because you're always at the back anyway. Hokey cokey. Alright. Let's cast an edict, yo. The waves of energy radiating from the spire draw you forward, pressing your body and mind to its eager embrace. At the center of this tide, the resonator stands ready to broadcast your voice, echoing your commandments to the farthest reaches of the Tiers and beyond. From here, the highest point in all the peninsula, you could, with the sum total of your effort, project your will far north, past the edge of the Tiers, and proclaim your edict as far as the lands of the Northern Empire. Any requests? How could you ask such a thing? I couldn't make such a far-reaching decision. I'm sorry you have more options than you have convictions. Lantry swats his quill at you as he switches to a sepia ink. Can you turn everyone inside out, or make them piss rings? Damn it, I can't decide. You figure it out. I'll just be in the way. Barrack studies you for a long pause. The Edict of Storms helped to craft the man I am today, for better or worse. This might be exactly what the Overlord hierarchy needs. A little mischief to toughen him up. Barrack, I'm impressed. Where did this rebellious streak come from? Let us say I have shared this campaign with some inspiring people of late. Yeah, big dumb softy. Get out of here. I mean it. Leap off the fucking edge before you bring a tear to my eye. Oh, these guys are great. This probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? So this is it. We've come a long way since Edgering Ruins. I never, before this, I was nothing important. One Scarlet Chorus killer among thousands. But we're really doing something here. Thanks for letting me tag along. She turns to the edge of the spire, avoiding your gaze. Opportunity. I can feel it like a coaxing breeze. Not since Graven Ash stood against Kairos has anyone made such a dent in the Overlord's defenses. It has been an honor serving at your side. Come what may, I'm ready to face it. Barrack nods at you. This is new territory for us all. You're the first to strike a blow directly at the Overlord. Make sure it counts. Hope you don't mind if I stand back and take notes. By all means, continue. This will be an opening strike. Perhaps the Tears will conquer the Northern Empire. The Spire awaits your command. Okay. Now how do I hit the Northern Empire? Well, he said the Edict of Storms. We'll do what Barrack wants. He wants the Edict of Storms. Let's do that. Let her rip. This one's for you, Kairos. Casting the Edict of Storms wreaks havoc on the northern capital. The winds whip into a sudden frenzy and toss unsuspecting citizens through the air, dashing them back down in the rubble of leveled buildings. Temporary settlements taken refuges, fleeing the devastation from the now uninhabitable city. Survivors all ask the same question: why did the Overlord allow this to happen? As chaos ensued in the Northern Kingdom, the armies marching on the Tears received an unprecedented order. The armies were to fall back to the capital and ensure the safety of its people from the edict. For the first time in Kairos' great conquest, the armies retreated. Soon questions would be asked, in a hushed breath across the lands, about what new and terrible power had emerged that could force the hand of the Overlord. You fulfilled Kairos' decree, and all the Tears is now ruled by a single Archon. Your former rivals have either submitted to you or perished, bringing the civil war to a close. The Scarlet Chorus may have been mighty in numbers, but that didn't stop you from thoroughly scattering them, cutting off the Serpent's head and sending each of their gangs howling back to the chaos they sowed. How the remnants of the Horde occupy themselves without a water fight becomes a topic for nightmares. It was thought the disfavored would never rally under another general, but the enlisting Graven Ash to your cause, you managed the next best thing, controlling the Archon to harness the strength of the Northern Empire. You reorganized their old-fashioned regiments with a new chain of command, placing yourself as its highest authority. The Legion's victories spread beyond count, and your soldiers trained hard, preparing for the retaliation to come. Under your guidance, those who resisted the conquest and sowed discontent have vanquished, their rebellion brought to a decisive end. Any lingering questions about who is the true ruler of the Tears is answered by your impact on the reconstructed nation. Word of your success spreads beyond the Tears as well. Even the most distant corners of the Empire whisper of the Fatebinder who rose to become an Archon, and an Archon whose intervention shattered the conquest, making way for a new future in the devastated nation. Uniting the Tears under the banner of the disfavored was never your directive, and yet you performed it admirably. Consolidating the Overlord's forces under your rule and grooming the Tears for their place in a new order. The same people who once hurled curses across a siege soon learned to think of themselves as part of a greater whole, extending beyond their modest borders. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, the earth around the Stone Sea finally settles, leading everyone to believe the realm of Azure will return to its former glory, but the ritual used to end the edict blighted the land to such a degree that nothing will grow, no matter how hard anyone tries. With determination, some are able to start small seedlings, but nothing ever comes of it. The memory of Cairn as a great force of destruction remains as a monument of inert rock. Most agree that the world is better off without the Archon of Stone, as the people of Azure begin to slowly reclaim the land that was once torn asunder by his power. As the strongest and oldest of their kind, the death of the Stonestalkers is a blow to Beastman culture. Their demise also brings centuries of oral traditions to an abrupt end. The local tribes never recover from the terrible loss. With Cairn's essence preserved and the lands of Azure permanently blighted, the Earthshakers return to the disfavored. While their reputations isn't what it used to be, their success in dealing such a decisive blow to the Scarlet Chorus by removing their main source of food has earned the respect of the Legion. The Earthshakers are accepted back into the ranks of the disfavored, once again becoming part of the army that helped subdue the Tears. With the Unbroken all but destroyed, their former citizens of Stalwart threatened to slide into lawlessness. Kairos' forces stationed at Sentinel Stand managed to quell the worst of the uprising, but peace under the nation's new leadership is resisted at every turn. You put the last of Graven Ash's family to the sword, ensuring the end of his long and decorated lineage. Though you often wonder if more could have been done to prevent this horrible deed, you don't bother yourself wondering for long. Though it takes time to recover from the devastation of the Edict of Storms, the Bladegrave begins its slow march toward healing. The realm of Stalwart may never resemble its former glory, but the land is not so blasted that something new and better can't be built atop the bones of the past. The Regent bloodline has ended, with it new traditions and legacies spring to life. Your travels never took you to the Burning Library, and this leaves the Edict of Fire undisturbed, consigning the Vellum Citadel to a future engulfed by perpetual flame. With their arcane knowledge beyond reach, the School of Ink and Quill falls into steep decline. Your name becomes a curse in their embittered ranks. By leaving Lethian's Crossing under disfavored command, you ensured the city's cooperation and productivity during the remainder of the conquest. The crafting of superior weapons comes to be the touchstone by which Lethian's Crossing is remembered. After the war, people speak of it as the Forge Days, when the city was a lump of unformed metal waiting to be shaped. By returning the Magebane helm to Lethian's Crossing, you ensured that the Bane would not be able to get into the city. For the time being, no threat of a Bane incursion is dispelled. The settlers are grateful to go about their lives unburdened by this peril, though knowing how close they came to annihilation haunts them. They hope that the security you provided endures. With the disfavored left in control of Lethian's Crossing, the production of iron remains where it belongs, safe in northern hands. The Chorus and other Tiersmen alike fight with inferior bronze, and over time the disadvantage grows to a crippling vulnerability. By enacting an edict on Vendrian's Well, you announced your power to the world and showed Kairos' forces what you were capable of. When you defeated their leader and scattered their army before you, it sent a message to Kairos: a new Archon is born. While the edict is dissipated, its effect will always be left as the first true threat to Kairos' rule. Graven Ash continues to lead the disfavored, this time bowing to your superior command. At first the old general balks at your instructions, but at time, he grows to trust your judgment without question. Working together, you bring much needed order and law to the lawless Tiers. Killing the voices of Narat spreads the joy of bloody vengeance across the continent. Celebrated as the death of history's greatest parasite, the occasion is marked by all who suffered under the oppression of the Scarlet Chorus. Even in victory, one thought nags you. Though you witnessed his death, you can't help but wonder if the voices of Narat is done with you. Tunon the Adjudicator continues to dispense justice from his seat in the Bastard City. He follows the laws you craft to the letter, advising on any of the meticulous changes you lack the time or patience to draft. Without his aid, the task of keeping order in the tiers would be nigh impossible. The death of Bleeding Bark deprived the world of a most capable murderer. One less bedtime story to scare children is no significant loss, though you can't help but glance in the dark corners of every room and feel as if something is watching you. Bleeding Mark will always cast a long shadow on your life. Not content to enjoy the fruits of victory, Barrack positions himself among the rank and file of your supporters, organizing troops around their strengths and making sure each pulls their weight. His armor clings to him doggedly as ever, though he wears it with a straighter back and lighter step than he did before. A team of loyal camp followers polish his plates to respectable sheen each morning, and the smell that escapes his visor has notably improved. Medals of valor decorate his breastplate, and adoring supporters drape garlands of flowers around his pauldrons. Life is good for the towering soldier. Verse finds herself adrift in the relative peace that follows your conquest. She returns to the field and seeks out young women from rural communities, imparting her fighting skills to only the most passionate. Over the course of many apprentices, she follows the voices of Narat's example and forms a personal army, the Callous Sisterhood. Verse proves to be a strict teacher, and you hire her services often, confident that she'll take any assignment where there's blood to be spilled. Lantry keeps a close watch over you, scribbling his account of your deeds and accomplishments in his tireless quest to fill the chronicle with history and knowledge. He follows you even in his twilight years, and together you learn much about the world. You pretend not to notice Lantry's waning strength, though you find yourself pausing mid-sentence to let his writing catch up. He recognizes your generous ruse and appreciates in silence. Disillusioned by your leadership, Ebb sets off alone to revive the devastated school of Tidecasters. The work takes a hard toll as Ebb struggles to explain her talents to one restless apprentice after another. Finally, she gives up in a fit of frustration, snapping her staff over her knee and making for the waterways of her people. To the best of your knowledge, she resides there still, avoided by the locals as a dangerous recluse. With no desire to remain in the company of humans, Kills in Shadow returns to the wilderness and seeks out her own kind. She discovers a haggard community of beastmen who abandoned the realm of Azure, only to be enslaved by Kairos' forces. Out of this rabble of defectors, she forges a tribe, their nomadic ways respecting no established border or law. They raid villages and caravans when possible, glutting on the spoils and boasting of their severed ties with the human world. Though a large bounty follows in the tribe's wake, you do what you can to ensure they are never found. Siren grows quiet over time, speaking little and foregoing her songs as she distances herself from your military. One day she simply walks out of camp and makes for the wilderness of the Tears. Rumors reach your ear that Siren has occupied an abandoned mountainside temple, her vow of silence drawing a small group of respectful followers. You leave her in peace. Though you once professed loyalty to Kairos, popular belief holds that the world cannot support two overlords, and you now represent a threat to the established order. This leaves your future in question. But with one certainty, when Kairos retaliates, you will be ready. From your perch atop the ancient spire, you can see hints of the Northern Empire, just beyond the mountains. At your command, horns shout a triumphant cry across the valley, heralding the end of one long campaign and the beginning of another. Holy balls, that's the end. I wanted to kill Kairos though. Whoa, I didn't think we only had one episode left. Holy balls. And I had no idea that Tunon was just gonna bow just like that. Holy. Man, that was an amazing game. I'm curious to see what the other endings are, but obviously I'm not gonna do any more on the channel. This is it for Tyranny, I guess. But I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. As usual, I'm gonna let the credits play out. But thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next series, whatever that may be.
you